Sir, hindi ko siya makita, sir.
Hello.
Paano ko nun?
Hello.
Ay. Hi, Sir Prakash. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon from Nepal. Namaste.
We will have, sir, a brief orientation before we formally start.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes.
I would like to inform you about the flow of the whole program before we officially start. And we will also check at your presentation, sir, if it will appear okay or not. If you are to share it full screen, for example.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir Jean, can I have the audio to pwedeng audio ko dana, hindi ko kapatid ko. Nahinagit man siya. Nahinagit man niya tingog. For the flow of our virtual conference, we will start first with a prayer, the introduction of the resource speaker, the conference proper, the open forum, Q&A, and the special announcements. Okay, sir?
Okay.
Can we have the audio, sir, to be fixed because we cannot hear you loudly or clearly?
Are you listening? No, it's clear.
Okay, no. It's okay already, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Hello, Sir Prakash. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Can we have your video for a while, sir?
Okay.
Okay. I guess it would be ideal if you are well lighted.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm working through my laptop. It has a little bit problem nowadays.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to remind our participants that the virtual conference will start in a minute. I would like to remind you that your microphone should be muted at all times. For the flow of our virtual conference, we'll start first with a prayer, the introduction of the resource speaker, the virtual conference proper, the question and answer portion, and we will end with some announcements. We are presently viewed on different social media platforms. You can see us live in Zoom and at the YouTube channel of POMI. We also have our delayed telecast at our official Facebook page, the Pies Eye 21. Okay, while waiting for the other participants to appear, I would like to greet first. Some of our participants are already here in Zoom. We have Sir Ronald Turno. He came all the way from Western Mindanao State University in CI campus. Sir, good afternoon. We also have from Bacolod City. And we also have one participant from Mindoro State College of Agriculture and Technology in Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro. We also have from Mindanao State University and from Batad, Iloilo City. Good afternoon, watching from Central Philippine State University in Cabangcalan City, Negros Occidental. We have Ma'am Ellen Grace T. Soberano. And we also have Ma'am Merly R. Rangel. She came all the way from Pulangi in Albay. Okay, again, good afternoon to all of our participants here in Zoom. We are also viewed live in YouTube at the official channel, homie, of one of the organizations of, or one of our one of the organizations that we have here. Okay? So again, I am Mr. Jose Brian Di Casella. Welcome to the 7th virtual gathering sponsored by the Philippine Institute of 21st Century Educators Incorporated, or PIES I-21, and this is in cooperation with I4Core Incorporated. This COVID-19 pandemic, as we all know, have made a great impact in the system of education in the country. If we are to look at the first month of the implementation of classes, for example, with the absence of face-to-face instruction, what most of the teachers or professors would say are predominantly negative, especially adapting to the challenges of what we label as the new normal. Thinking of comparing and learning from other countries with different practices, adjusting to the new normal setup, our organization decided to come up with this international online conference for 21st century educators on a topic, retooling the professional development of learning facilitators towards a better new normal. This conference is designed for all educators in public and private elementary, secondary, and higher educational institutions. I am happy to see that we have a great number of confirmed participants from different parts of the country. We have in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So, to formally start our webinar, may I request everyone to be in silence for the prayer. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, we thank you for the blessings in providing us continuous guidance in the conduct of the many webinars we have. We thank you for the presence of every participant we have. May you guide our speaker that he would be able to effectively impart his God given wisdom to all of us. May he be blessed as he continues to share his expertise to everyone who needs them. Protect our nation, O Lord, from all the forms of threats. May the cases of COVID will continue to diminish. Protect our frontliners and educators that we may be able to defeat this pandemic. Keep all of us safe, O Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So before I formally introduce to you our speaker, I would like everyone listening to the different platforms we have to raise your question and have it posted after our speaker's presentation. You can also use the chat function for your own insights. We will be having the open forum or the question and answer portion after the speaker's presentation. For our listeners here in Zoom, you may use the chat functions to share your thoughts or questions in writing. We will be notifying you ahead if you are recognized. Thank you. It is now time for me to introduce to you our resource speaker. Our resource speaker has been in the academe for more than a decade. He started out as a primary level English teacher at the National Inventive Boarding School in Baidam, Pokhara, Nepal, as a secondary level English teacher in Nilgiri English Boarding School in New Road, Pokhara, Nepal, and as language instructor at the Bethesda International Language and Leadership Development. He was also a former news reader or editor at Gandak Media House in Naya Bazar, Pokhara. He is also a certified TESOL and IELTS trainee and award with certification from Fort Hayes State University and British Council of Nepal. He is presently living in Kaski, Nepal. He has a bachelor's degree with specialization in English at Tribhuvan University in Nepal and his master's degree in education with specialization in English also in the same university. Moreover, he also has a proficiency certification with specialization in English and Nepali in the same university. At present, he is connected with Goodwill Activity School in Pokhara, Kaski, Nepal, as principal, cum English teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Prakash Chandra Giri. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon from Nepal. Thank you. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
I am now
Am
turning
I
over the screen to Sir Prakash Chandragiri, all the way from Nepal.
okay? Thank you. Am I audible now? Am I audible? Are you listening? Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you for very much for this great opportunity for me to have a or to bring a dimensions which is international dimension in my teaching profession. My father is also a teacher, and teaching is in my blood. And I love teaching and cascading the new knowledge among the educators. So today, my topic is bit center. How can we develop our teaching skill set to training skill set? How can we develop our professional career towards this pedagogical forum or in learning in this better new normal? So we have challenges and opportunities both during these days. So let's learn some steps. How can we go ahead with our skill set so that we can conduct, organize different programs in our local areas? So my overview of the presentation is related to delivering how can we engage a teacher training workshops or trainings in your local areas or national and international in different centers. So the first task I'm going to share you all Let's transform from teaching skill set to training skill set. So leading a teacher training workshop and classroom teaching, these are both terms which are different. And there are some differences. And what are the differences? I'll show you some infographics and you can learn through this as well. So, but before that, I would like to tell you to memorize or to remember or to think of about any 5 words, what you think in this time regarding the professional development, what comes in your mind. There are some questions I have listed out over here. Think of the training you have given, you have attended. So what type of the professional development activity was it? What was the topic and goals and objective of the activity? Was it a positive or negative experience? And if so, why? What was one thing about the experience you found helpful to improve your teaching? What was one thing about your experience you would like to change? So this brainstorming is very, very important for this today's sessions. I think you can list out any 5 words when professional development comes in your mind. Like I have listed, informative, new, conferences, enriching, collaboration, dimension, international. So you can list out some words. And these questions you might have in you. And then you can make a shape to do a better in the days to come when you organize the workshops and trainings. So the difference in infographics you can see here, classroom teaching versus teacher training. What are the differences? So audience, in the classroom teaching, there will be students. And in teacher training, for the professional development for teacher trainers, for facilitators, so there will be the peers, classroom teacher and trainer. There will be. Similarly, assessment, different goals, tasks, and feedback. So there will be the classroom assessment strategy and training assessment strategy. There is a difference. Attendance, there is a difference. Class length, there is a difference. Evaluation, we can see the different measures. And classroom management, how do we manage the class while teaching in the classroom? How do we manage when we facilitate online? How do we facilitate in face-to-face or in class context in the training for the professional development to make the teachers? So these infographics can help you to think of how can I lead a training, a professional development program among the educators. So we can discuss here in terms of audience, in terms of attendance, in terms of assessment, class length. We can choose one of the areas you can choose now and give a specific example of the difference between classroom teaching and teacher training. Now you can ask why yourself and then answer yourself. You can think of now just what is the difference in terms of audience while teaching in the classroom and while training, while teaching in the face-to-face context and online facilitation. So what can be the differences? So you can think of these areas. So for professional development, for the facilitators, cascading is very, very important, like I'm doing now. I'm cascading the new knowledge, sharing among you. You are listening to me, and I'm sharing you, and I'm also listening to you back through the chat box or through your feedbacks and forwards, your comments. So we are sharing. We are a community of practice, and we can cascade the ideas. So increasing, why do we cascade the knowledge? It increases the course impact. It doubles our learning. So when we teach, when we share, when we cascade, we learn. So this is a theory. When we teach, we learn. When we learn, we teach. So for professional development, this is very, very important platform for us to share each other, especially during these days in the lockdown. We are compelled to stay at home quarantine. At this time, we can cascade the ideas through the onlines, through the Facebook forums, through different other forums. We can share the ideas. We can use different applications, different ICT tools. So we are going through face-to-face cascading new knowledge in class or in face-to-face, now in online. So there is a difference. But we can keep on doing this. By God's grace, we have got opportunity through the different media, and then we can cascade the knowledge. So let's cascade new knowledge, and so that we can develop professional development of the teachers, and we can develop the skills set. First task is the transform from teaching in the classroom to the training. And the second step for the learning, for developing the professional development. Number two is strategy. The step is we have to ready, set, and investigate. We have to find out so what real need is in the level where we are doing in the community, in our area. Like I'm teaching or training up the teachers in my school, and so in my local area, we are organizing, we are collecting the need analysis. But how do we collect the need analysis in this time? We collect the need analysis during different Google Forms, Survey Planet, and other online forums, or we can meet if possible. So the second step is investigating or finding out the needs analysis. So what is the need analysis? Need analysis tools, tips, conducting need analysis. We need to be familiar with these terms. So I will share you. Let's think of now about our teaching context. So what are the some possible professional development topics we can categorize, we can list out, like I have been doing here. So you can make a list in this context, like using an online portfolio for assessment, using technology in the classroom. So that can be the pitch to share others. That can be the topics to choose now and to pitch other educators, other stakeholders. So number three, using an online portfolio for assessment or using technology in the classroom, teaching English through the technology. So using Google Classroom. So these are the some topics and we can choose now. And need analysis, you can take the definitions. A needs analysis is like a pretest. It involves a collection, examination of the objective, subjective needs of the participants. So what are the subjective and objective participants? Needs of the participants. So I have categorized here. Objective needs are measured with information about their educational background, teaching experience, participants' language level and abilities, institution, government standards and targets. And what are the subjective needs? So attitudes, interest, and expectations and perception of training, purpose, goals for learning or improving specific teaching techniques or skills, a preference for how they like to learn, what learning status and styles they love to adopt or use. So needs analysis is an examination or pretest so that we can set, we can make or direct while developing the educators in our area, national or international level as well. So need analysis in this normal context we can bring through the online forums or online platform. So how do we conduct or why do we conduct needs analysis? So it is like a setting goals to decide the purpose or set goals for training. How can I train up the teachers? How can I give the input, what I have? So we need to consider their opinions, their requests, their requirements from the stakeholders, from the participants. So this is an examination or collection of the ideas or brainstorming levels. And then we can conduct needs analysis in this time through the online or interviews or through different meetings or calls, regular calls, or having a discussion in a focus groups. So, and who will be involved in these things, in this needs analysis process? So we can have the participants and stakeholders. And who belong to the stakeholders? The government sectors, school administrations, the parents, or the students, the collect the ideas through them. So collecting the information from the participants, and we can bring them into the right shape and the right direction. We can direct them after that. What is the core idea or participant challenge, so that we can bring them in the right place and they can cope with these ideas and they can overcome and they can be directed into the right directions. So here is an example: participant challenge, multi-level classes, student participation, classroom management, and the most of the participants they responded, and they have the challenge on student participation, and I can pick out, and we can pick out that, and participant interest and goals. So in this time, obviously they have this interest on technology, teaching through Zooms, teaching through Google Classroom, using Flipgrid. So how can we upload the videos on Flipgrid, or how can we comment and play with the documents? And so we can prioritize the needs found in the analysis, needs analysis. So in most of the trainings, I have seen that they don't have this need analysis, a clear-cut idea, and they will be misdirected. So this is very, very important point. It is a key to open the door so that we can go and direct a good sessions or workshops, trainings, webinars, any kinds of sessions very well after this needs analysis. And number three stage is create an instructional objective. Through the needs analysis, we can make a plan, a course outline we can create, which must be the impactful, so that it makes a specific, it directs in a specific context. And instructional objectives. So our participants, we want our participants to gain the instructional objectives, what they really want to learn using technology. So how can I make them center in this using technology? Many might not have the habituated, or they are not habitual in using technology, or they might have some challenges. And how can I direct them using technology, teaching with technology? So these instructional objectives we can keep. Not only objectives, with objectives worthwhile, objectives we can make into some strategy or some activities as well. But before making or designing activities, we have to make the objective worthwhile, smart, and learning centers, and these strategies, so that they can practice and they can do relevantly, meaningfully, effectively. So instructional objectives is a good point for after this needs analysis. On the basis of needs analysis, we create instructional objectives. And creating objectives, then we can make a plan. You into the sub-unit or unit objectives and the steps we can create, and we can follow these steps. And there are some steps: the length of time, the course content, how can we break these contents in unit. So we have to decide on the objectives for the unit. So these points we have to outline, so that it will direct us, and it is good for trainer, teacher trainer. And for unit assessment, it obviously comes, because instructional objectives, whether it is done or not, whether it is fulfilled or not. So to make sure that assessment item measures the person performance on the specific skill in the objectives. So if the answer is yes, and then the assessment item is approved. If they can't do this, that occurs, that sense makes the sense. And there is one example: creating a training course outline. So week one, what do we do? Because we go through the timelines, and then topic, objectives, activities, and assessment. So this creating training course outline really makes us confident how I can go ahead, how I can make this effective, how can I retool them. So this is important point for a teacher trainer to shape or to direct them well. And next step is the pitching. Pitching the training to administration or colleagues, how to be persuasive We have to think of why my training skill, why my training, excuse me, how my training is very, very effective for this school, for this society, for this uh, college or universities. So to make a pitch, a good pitching, so we have to be persuasive. And there are some steps for the pitching trainings. First of all, we have to identify the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Might be the educational, government sectors, English teachers of that particular schools, or the principals or administrator or secretary or the parents, the students, or the local area people, the social workers. So who are the stakeholders so that they will listen to me and they will be convinced with my ideas, with my solutions, and then they can open the door for me, open the door for teacher trainer. So this is one of the strategy for pitching, identifying the stakeholders. And pitch, what does the pitch mean actually? Pitch means selling your training to the stakeholders. So you identify the problems. Like in this context, many schools are compelled to go online. And how can I train up the teachers to go through the online? How can I teach them teaching through online using Google Classroom, Google Meet, or Zoom, or others Teams? How can I let them play with Moodle? So these are the some they might have been facing these problems. How can we use these online platforms, online things for even teachers in context of Nepal, in context of your country, around the world? Teachers are like the sharks. When they start moving forward, they start to die. So they have challenges now. They have been facing the challenging to go on in online classes. And at that time, a trainer in your area, you can pitch identifying the problem, and then you present the solution and why your solution is unique, why your solution is the best, why your solution is appropriate, more appropriate than others, and why your solution is the best one in your other schools, administrations, or other stakeholders among. They will be convinced with your idea, with your pitch, with your selling, and then they will open the door for you, for us, and they will allow us to have a training sessions. We can pitch through sharing. In this time, we can pitch sharing through the 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 8 minutes video. We can record a video and we can pitch. We can send through the emails. We can send through the different other media so that they will know, wow, your solution is the best. And I really appreciate and salute. And I would like to invite you. So pitching and pursuing. And number 5, this is engage the participants. So when we organize the trainings or workshops, so we have to engage the participants. Now, like I'm preaching, I'm just lecturing now. I'm not leading. Actually, while in the training session, we have to lead them rather than lecturing. We have to make them, even participation, we have to make them participate actively, and more participants will get opportunity to interact. We have to make different strategies for facilitating through online or in class. So this engaging the participants. So you can think of now your experience, you have the bad experience about training that you attended or gave. Sometimes we have provided some training sessions and we can have some inputs through the from the audience or the participants, and then we can think of like, okay, I will change the next time this. Or you can have some experience, your some bitter experiences, not bad, bitter experiences about training. So creating a comfortable environment and which engages the participants, and they we can let them do thinking critically. and we can bring them in the class, in the sessions, so that they will actively participating enthusiastically. So I would like to share you another one infographics. So I have extracted from the university where I studied. So top 10 ways to engage the students. You can see this 80 and 20. 80, the students or the participants role. 20, the facilitator. So teacher is a facilitator, not dictator. Teacher is a watchdog. Teacher is a facilitator. Teacher is a manager. And one thing, while engaging the students, no method is perfect. So you can manage your participants how you think they will be engaged well. And you can be a designer, you can be a manager because you know the real context. So you can apply which method or which study is the best, and you can do yourselves, or I can do myself what I know. Sometimes I make the group in the classroom, changing even the sheets, changing even the structure of the chairs, and then they will be interactive in the classroom. So balance instruction, questioning techniques, some will be talkative, some will be less talkative, and then we can balance while asking the question. There are some questioning techniques, strategy, and we need to know the differences. We need to, these are the students, the engagement, the ways. So you can, uh, I will share you these ideas also. Just reflections, choice and responsibilities, comfortable environment, collaboration, authentic materials, practice and creating, learning through the applications, critical thinking, designing for differences. So we can organize or make the engaged to the participants accordingly, respectively, how we think at that time, which is appropriate, relevant, and meaningful and contextual. And 5 ways to engage the online learners. So in this context, we need to communicate often. We need to keep in touch with the students, with the learners, with the trainees. We need to learn about them, what they are doing, even some psychological aspects. We need to be enthusiastic so that they will really love to be in your classes. We need to connect the learners in different other contexts. We need to connect the learners one another, like they can share each other, they can connect through the different media themselves, and they can cascade the ideas and the knowledge. As sharing your one experience, opening, and you can be open with your ideas, you can share, you can be friendly, your personal, your some experiences, what you have been facing, what you are doing. So online learning, for the online learners, we can make engage with these 5 ways. In this context, this is the very, very important point. And similarly, to make them engaged, and how can we facilitate to the online discussion, how can we make them engage, how can we make them discuss or facilitate among them, so involving everyone. And we can allow silence for thinking, we can use videos or pictures, we can lead them, not to lecture, and we can be helpful them for them. So we can facilitate online discussion with these 5 strategies. And next one is mentoring. Mentoring is another step for professional development, for making our facilitators keeping in touch so that we can share the ideas. Mentoring's definition I'll share you. So mentoring, there are like peer mentoring, and you can make a mentor, we can make a mentor, a mentoree. So peer observation, peer teaching, team teaching, observation, collaboration. And sometimes I go in the online class and I can observe the classes and what the challenges are you are facing, and you can do these ideas You can change this. We can mentor. So another step for professional development is mentoring. I have a mentor, and I am the mentoree of someone, and I'm mentor of someone. I have also one mentor who mentors me for my professional development, for my learning, even some of my psychological aspects and my life skills. I will meet once a week, and then I go and meet and talk and share and get some inputs from the mentor. And I will bring some mentors in with me, and I talk and share them. There are some teachers, my staffs, they can be mentorees. I can mentor them. So this is the sixth step. And here is the one definition: mentoring. Mentoring is to support and encourage people to manage their own learning, that they may maximize their potential, develop their skills, improve their performance, and become the person they want to be. Supporting and encouraging, not advising, supporting and encouraging. Developing, maximizing their potentiality. So the person they want to be, clarify that this is about individual establishing their one goals with our help, with our supports, not directive, but we will listen to them very clearly, very carefully. We listen to the mentor, we listen to the trainees, and then we can encourage, we can maximize, we can develop their skill, we can improve their performance, so that we can identify what level they are developing and growing. And some tools and tips for peer observation. Observation is also one kind of mentoring. It must be friendly, it must be positive. So like you can make these tips going to the room, or you can be in a Zoom, or you can be in a Teams, you can be on different other online forum or platform, and then you can see how she or he is teaching, how she is improving. And then this is the circle for the observation: pre-observation, classroom observation, post-observation, and so that they will be well mentored. And I have some ideas giving feedback. And so don't say you talk too quietly, but we can say, I noticed some of the students didn't seem to hear your instructions. Perhaps you could speak up. So our session must be like sandwich: compliment, suggestion, in with a compliment, giving compliment and suggestion, and ending with compliment. So this is a feedback while and after doing the observation in the while process of the mentoring. And another step, this is sustaining community of practice, making a teacher, those who are in different forums, and they will be unique, more unique than others, because they learn, and they keep on learning, and they will practicing in different forums. They present, they practice, they learn, they cascade. So community of practice is a group, so they can share interest or profession. So I think you might have this community of practice, like we are organizing some programs. So this is also one kind of community of practice, COP, and we can share. And even the trainees, they can share well when the time comes. So the community can be simply a group of like English teacher in a school, or in your city, in your area or country, or the teachers group, like-minded peoples, those who are TESOL, ITEFL. So there are different other platforms for English teachers. Not only English teachers, but other teachers also, they can make a practice, community of practice group. And you can share the ideas, and you can openly and confident and discuss. But why to engage? To support for professional development, for career advancement. So like we are doing now, it is making me sustain some my ideas, and I'm sharing you and then it makes me some enjoyment. It brings me some eagerness to advance my career as well. And I will be motivated towards my career, and I will be engaged in my career. And I don't want to switch my career, and I want to be in touch with my different others platforms where I can learn, where I can develop my professional development and support myself and others. So that's why we need to make engage the trainees while organizing the training sessions, while doing the trainings, while being a teacher, trainer, or trainees. So we can brainstorm now. So what we are doing in our communities, I think you are being engaged with some communities, and I'm also engaged with some communities. A member with some other organizations, and I keep in touch with them, and I share them. But now, how do I share? I organize some webinar sessions, I organize some programs, and I can give some presentation. I can write some research writing works. I can share. So these are the engaging part, so that we can sustain. So community engagement tools, some examples: Facebook groups, conferences, online forums for teachers, blogs, study groups, action research groups. So there are many, many other examples. And this time, it is wonderful time for us to have the community of practice or different forum, so that we can easily join. I have a very good testimony, like during these days after lockdown, and I am joining with some international organization. Like I've been getting opportunity to speak with you now. This is a possibility because of this lockdown, because of this internet access. I'm practicing with you, I'm sharing with you, and this is the because of this context. Now we have time, we have the opportunities, we have the links, and we can explore. So different other examples also you can have, and try to connect this professional development of forums or where you are involved. Even English teachers, you can involve and join in different organizations who are working in this language. And another point is evaluation. We do the training sessions, we organize through the online or in class, but in this context we organize, but how do we evaluate? What's the evaluation process? There are some tips, some tools, and so that we can evaluate. You might have been evaluating your trainer's evaluation also, and your one also. Like think about a training course or workshop you gave or attended, and you will get evaluation from a survey. Definitely will get some positive and negative feedback and opinions. So if your participants, so if they have given honest feedback or opinions, and you can have some feedbacks from your participants. So if you were a trainer, you got some feedbacks from the participants. And if you are trainees, and you are given some feedback to the trainers and evaluation. So these are the we are doing or practicing in our life for many years, many days, months. So what is the training session evaluation? Training evaluation measures the effectiveness of training, how the training session went, how my courses ran or went, whether it was good, well, or not. So evaluation plan. But how do we evaluate? On the basis of course goals and objectives. So that my objectives, my goals, my outline is fulfilled or not, whether they got these pointer ideas or not. Now, the trainees or teachers, they are confident in organizing or working with the students in the class through the using technology or not. So this is an evaluation part we can create. A teacher trainer can create at the end of the training session. So now we can make like Google Forms, Planet, and other different others tools and some other strategies we can evaluate the trainees. So this is the both sides evaluation. And another thing we evaluate for stakeholders and for ourselves, whether I did or not well, whether stakeholders are practicing and they have got these objectives or not, is it fulfilled or not, whether the training session was effective or not. So that's why we evaluate. Some example, open questions, closed examples, we can make at the end of the training session. And this is my one evaluation as well, or your one evaluation. Not only trainees evaluation, but your evaluation as well. And you can make anonymous when you evaluate how the program or session went. You can create an evaluation on paper for the participants, but now you can use an online during these days. So as we know, some types of the online learning nowadays, we can organize the sessions or learning, self-paced, MOOCs, instruction-led courses, and webinars. So this is just some types we know we are very much familiar with these terms. We are doing and practicing, and we can organize like that. As we know, the differences of between online and face-to-face teaching, but some are the same. Online trainings and face-to-face teaching are trainings. There is a training word also. So what the online learners require more interaction like with the instructor. They can lack feedback for both students, instructors, or trainers or trainees. Online instructors must take some technical responsibilities. And online learners are top media critics. While organizing the training session through online, there are some differences. But what are the requirements? Like good internet access. So simply we can able to use the simple Google application, Flipgrid, Zoom meetings, and many others what you are using. Ability to devote the per week the assignments, and we can complete the assignments, writing class comments or creating collaborating on documents, or take online quizzes and tests, view and create videos, talk to classmates instructor through phone or video chat, observing live classes. So these are the ways to complete the assignments. While training through the online, while facilitating through online, so we can make our trainees do these requirements and ways to complete assignments. So this is one example I do through the Google Classroom. For my Google Classroom training session, I say them these requirements, and these are the ways to complete your assignments. And weekly base, I meet them in Zoom, I meet them in Google Meet, and then I let them play with the documents on the assignments. So now you have learned some steps to transform a teacher, educator to teacher trainer, or you can organize some programs in your areas during this time. Even you can facilitate through the online. Facilitating online, we can equip them. So I'm not taking longer. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much. God bless you all. If
Okay,
any
thank you, Sir
questions?
Prakash Chandragiri. We are not done with you, sir. We are waiting for our participants to raise their questions regarding your presentation. Okay,
Okay,
so again, we
okay.
will proceed now to our open forum. Our session for this evening is only allocated for 2 hours. We will cater as many questions as possible depending on the availability of our time. We will select questions raised by our participants here in Zoom and at YouTube. I would like you to introduce yourself first, or to those who will be tapped to ask questions here in Zoom, I would like you to introduce yourself first, the institution where you are affiliated with, and your question. Okay? So while waiting for the questions, Sir Prakash to appear, I would like to read first some of the insights of our participants here in Zoom. We have from Ma'am Ellen Grace T. Soberano. According to Ma'am Ellen Grace, pitching is a strategic way to conduct training successfully, making the training more relevant and interesting to stakeholders. So thank you, Ma'am Ellen Grace, for that insight. We also have, I would like also to greet first our participants while waiting for the questions to appear. We have Ma'am Irene Catayong. She came all the way from Eastern Samar State University in Salcedo campus. We also have from Batad in Iloilo. And to our participants there in YouTube, we are also encouraging you to raise question for Sir Prakash. We also have Ma'am Anessa Mangindra from Sultan Kudarat State University. Okay? So while waiting for some for questions to appear, I would like to personally ask Sir Prakash regarding the status of COVID-19 there in Nepal. Sir, can you give us an idea? How's the COVID-19 cases there in Nepal? Or with the cases you have, how did your school, for example, adapt to the challenge of this new normal setup? Can you give us an idea, sir?
Yes, so we are organizing some online sessions, meetings with the students um, in like 2 hour, 3 hours in a day through the Zooms. And we have the groups of the students in the Messenger, and we have the Google Classroom for documents, and we uh, collect their assignments once a week because we are allowed to collect the assignments in face to face also, but once a week and keeping a social distance. So we play through the onlines. We are doing through the onlines, Google Classroom, Zoom, and Messenger group, and Zoom meetings. So, and regular calls to the parents, regular calls to the students. So these are the strategy we are doing.
Okay, sir. With that kind of setup you gave to us a while ago, can you give us also an idea about the struggles you've experienced in the implementation of that kind of setup?
Yeah, one of the challenging for us here in Nepal is network problem. We don't have the good internet resource or the internet access. Most of the people that live in village and there is not good connection. Those who live in city area, they have this access and they can do this well. But through others modality like radio and televisions, and they are broadcasting and they are working with these uh, other modalities,
Okay,
radios
thank
and
you, sir.
television also. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have here one curious question from Sir Calvin J. Kaliat from Mindanao State University, Tawi-Tawi College of Technology and Oceanography. According to Sir Calvin, sir, is the need analysis the same with gap analysis? Because he's quite curious with that question, or with the difference, for example, or similarity if we have.
Yes, yes, obviously. It depends on the context of this particular schools or the local areas, because we are organizing these sessions in our even we can start through the schools, our one school. You can be a teacher trainer in your school, you can organize and you can find the gaps, but we need to research what gaps is there. So needs analysis is a tool to fill the gap.
So they're different.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we are still waiting for other questions to appear. Again, we are encouraging our participants to raise their question to Sir Prakash. Okay. Sir Prakash, one of the trending issues we have here in Iloilo, in my city, for example, happened just few days ago. It has something to do with one teacher who shared his dismay to his student, for example, who failed to show for 5 consecutive sessions in an online setup that they have.
Okay.
And again, it became trending mainly because the video was circulated or has circulated, I mean, here in the different social media we have in my city. Can you give us any idea, sir, on how are we going to protect ourselves, for example, on a possibility like that or on a case like that? Like you being a subject of mockery, for example, not only by students but also by different kinds of people in the city. What do you think, sir?
I'm sorry, because of the internet access problems, I didn't get your point. It means some problems occur in your area.
We have one professor
Yes.
who shared this main social media. But the problem was that on the words he thrown to the student, to the student, it became a subject of mockery by the people here. It has something to do with what he has expressed to the student who'd been absent for 5 consecutive sessions. And this argument was that the student failed to at least explain, for example, to the teacher the reason behind why he failed to make it for those 5 sessions in their
Oh.
class. So my
uh,
question is, in your case, sir, like on a possibility with you, for example, being a subject in social media with your video circulating that you're mocking your student, for example, how are we going to protect ourselves on that?
I think we need to develop or make them a digital literate or digital diplomat ideas. We need to share first. So digital skill, digital literacy skill is very, very important to know, to explore in these days. Like we are learning citizenship skill, critical thinking skill, we are learning creativity skill, leadership skill, but we are lacking the digital skill, digital literacy skill. So we need to train up them, and so that if they are digitally diplomat, and that such kind of the problems will not be occur, and we can solve.
Okay, thank you, Sir Prakash. I like the idea that you reiterated more on the concept of contextualization, especially with the concept of retooling the professional development, like assessing the needs first before providing answers or with the idea of providing the evaluation, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
If we had to speak about the context of Nepal, for example, sir, can you give us an idea about the main challenge that you're experiencing there in Nepal in terms of the kind of education that you have?
Yeah, these strategies, these steps, most of the trainers they don't follow. Actually, to be open, we don't. Many they don't follow this. They just have the connection, and they uh, conduct the workshops or the training session. But if we go these strategies and pitching, and we can call upon the stakeholders with the problems and the solutions and your one argument, and then we can organize. But in our context in Nepal, most of the trainings sessions are not done or conducted systematically, but government is practicing now or trying to cope with these things nowadays in Nepal. So through the online is a big problem even now in Nepal. So it has been challenging to facilitate training sessions through online. But in face to face, it works well. But through the online is a challenging for Nepal. I don't know about your context, but in context of Nepal, facilitating training session through online is a big challenge.
Okay, thank you, Sir Prakash. Again, we have here another insight from Ma'am Ellen. According to her, yes, digital literacy is really a necessity among teachers to be effective in strategic teaching under the new normal. So thank you, Ma'am Ellen, for sharing your insight. So I don't know if we still have more questions to appear, but again, can we have final words from Sir Prakash Chandragiri? Sir, can you give us your final words to our participants here?
Yes, I have some points like. I would like to say thank you so much for this opportunity for me. Um, Teachers are like the sharks. When they stop moving forward, they start to die. We need to be updated. We need to be techno friendly. And teachers should work smarter than harder. So many teachers are panic in doing works and they do hard work. I have done many hard works and I have done this. I have been doing, and they have panics and they. But I say don't panic. Do smarter. Be techno friendly, and then play with the technology well, and then you can do smarter. Any works. Teachers, they are smarter. Teachers can be other different professions in the future because teachers are smarter. Teachers are like the stars. So no method is perfect. No learner is weak and is strong. Even the trainees, they are not weak and strong. They might be slow learners. They might be fast learners. So let's solve the problems. Let's fill the gaps of the slow learners and the fast learners, and then we can bring some changes and dimension in our training session and workshops. So let's make inclusive, let's bring the dimensions, not only local dimension, thinking globally, acting locally, and we can do through the project-based activities, doing learning by doing different participations in the workshops or seminars and the trainings, like project-based activities, group-based activities, peer-based activities, and sharing each other. And we can learn horizontally, vertically. So how we can do that, and that really makes us worthwhile. So it is very good to be a teacher in our life. So we must be motivated, encouraged in our profession. So teaching is the most respected job in the world, and I love teaching, and I'm very proud of being a teacher. Thank you.
Okay, again, thank you, Sir Prakash. That ends our question and answer portion. We will try to reply to some of your queries raised after the end of this session. Before we finally close our conference, let me read to you some announcements. To earn a certificate of participation, you must sign up the evaluation or attendance form that are posted in Zoom, in our Facebook page, and at our YouTube channel in POMI. The certificate of participation and the PDF copy of Mr. Giri's presentation will be sent to your respective email right after this event upon verification of your attendance. Paid participants who didn't receive their certificate of participation within a day, please email to centuryeducators1920 at gmail.com or centuryeducator21gmail.com. To our participants who applied for membership, the amount of 180 pesos will be added for LBC delivery in case the applicant wishes to get the original documents. Membership for at least 3 organizations is free of LBC delivery charge. We will follow the mailing address stated in your registration form, or you can email us for your preferred mailing address. To those who failed to make it live can still have the chance to get their certificate by watching the recorded video of the conference on YouTube and Facebook. Just sign up the evaluation and attendance form as a requirement. Before closing our session, I would like to grab this opportunity to thank my fellow members and officers of PICE I-21. This webinar will not be possible without the organizers or coordinators. We have the ever dynamic National President of I4Core, Mr. Jerry Huvacon, our International Affairs Director, Dr. Cyril de la Puente, our Virtual Conference Director, Mr. Ricky A. Kibinko, and the ever-active President of PICE I-21, Ms. Emmy Jan Indonila Palmani. We also have our partner teachers and professors or coordinators, Dr. Nora Ligaspi, Mr. Isidro Villa, Mr. Raymond Casio, Mr. Charles Isulan, Mr. Chito Tomines, and Mr. Jose Jean Montecado, together with Sir John Sonsa. To our colleagues also in Iloilo Science and Technology University and all the active members of our professional organizations, thank you for your continuous support. Congratulations also to Mr. Prakash Chandragiri for making this virtual conference a successful one. Most importantly, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all of you participants for making this event possible and successful. See you on the next gathering sponsored by our organization. We have one more webinar left on October 9, 2020, 3 in the afternoon. We will have Engineer Joel B. Garcera. He's a master in IT management, a computer engineer and professor from Western Institute of Technology on a topic, teaching blended learning effectively using LMS. Kindly check at our official social media page and channel for details. We have one promo, and then you can get unlimited certificates sponsored by PICE I-21 if you've attended at least 5 events of PICE I-21 from July 17, July 31, August 19, September 4, September 11, and September 23. And you can get our webinar on October 9 for free. Again, I am Mr. Jose Brian Di Casella. Stay safe, everyone. God bless and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all.